See, in the last class and before class onwards, we are seeing control structure. Okay, and in this control structures, we have different statements are there. One is conditional statements or decision making statements. These are four actually. Okay, one is simple if statement, one is if else statement, one more is nested if. Okay, next we have like if else ladder. Simple if else means just to simply we'll write one if statement like this. Okay, within this we will write condition. Okay, if this condition is true, I'm going to execute this block of code. Okay, based on this condition only this block of code is going to execute. This is simple if. Suppose if it is if else statement, the syntax for if else statement is if we'll check the condition here. Okay, if this condition is true, this block of code, open bracket close bracket is there, right? This block of code is going to execute. Okay, suppose this condition is false. Okay, it is going to execute this else block. Okay, this is else if statement. Just remember this syntax. So based on the syntax only you are going to write the same syntax in your programming also. Okay, if else means if condition is true, some block of code. If that condition is false, I'm going to execute some other block of code. Okay, for example, like this condition, after executing this condition, this if the condition is true, it is going to execute this block of code. In that case, it won't enter into this else block. Simply after this if statement, if you have any statements, okay, those statements are going to execute here. Okay, in your program, if you are seeing any if case there, based on the condition only it is going to enter either into this block or else block. After that if statement, it is going to execute normal programs. Okay, next we have nested if. In nested if case, the syntax there is no syntax actually. Okay, how you will write a nested if here? It is first you will check one condition by using if statement. You are going to check one consider condition, or one condition you are going to check. Okay, if that condition is true, you are going to and you are going to enter into this block, right? After entering into that block, you are going to execute some statements here. After executing some statements, you can write there is a situation to check one more condition. Okay, like this you can write one if statement. Okay, this is one if statement, right? In one if statement you can write one more if statement. You are writing one if in another if. This is nested if. Okay, for this if also, if it is possible to write else, you can write else here. Okay, if you require to write else block, you can write else block for this if. In the same way, for outer if also, you can write else also for that also. For this one also you can write, okay, else block. Okay, like this you can write nested if. You're writing one if in another if. This concept you can say the nested if. Okay, then we have if else ladder. Okay, what is this if else ladder? Okay, for example, in your program, if you want to check more than one conditions, okay, how you will write if condition 1. Okay, condition 1. Okay, if this condition is true, you are going to execute one block of code. Suppose you are going to check one more condition, else if. This is the if else ladder you are going to use. Else if condition 2. Okay, one more block for second condition. Like that you can write n number of like conditions. The final case, above conditions are false, you can write simply one else block. Okay, in this way you can check multiple conditions by using if else ladder. Okay, then we have switch statement. This is also used to check multiple conditions, but based on the expression, it is going to execute one single case. Okay, one case here, instead of writing conditions, we are going to write one cases. Okay, by using switch is a keyword, switch off, we are going to write one expression here. Expression means simply any one condition. Okay, based on this expression, or you can say that choice. Okay, in your like data structures, you are going to use choice here. Okay, you are going to enter into this switch case. Okay, here you are going to write cases. Okay, case like 1, okay, colon. Here, whatever the code here you are writing, okay, whatever the code here you are writing, that is come under this case 1, okay. Then for every case, we are going to use break statement, okay. What this break statement will do, after executing that case, it is simply break the like execution from the switch block, okay. It will come back from that switch statement, okay. About this break statement, we will see some examples later after discussing loop statements, okay. See, then we will write some case 2 like that. Here also you can write n number of cases. Finally you will write one default case, okay, one default case. This is above all the cases are false, this is going to execute the default case, okay. If all the cases are false, it will directly execute default one, okay. This is about the switch statement. This syntax you need to remember, okay. What I just am reminding, already completed this topic, which I am reminding this, okay. In this way you can use this switch statement, okay. These all are conditional statements or decision making statements. Based on the condition only, you are going to you are telling the compiler that I want to execute this block or else block. Like that you are telling the compiler, based on your requirement, you are going to execute some block of code, okay. Next we have loop statements, okay. See, for example, I want to print some hello world in the output, okay. Generally what we will do, simply we will write one cout statement, then we will print that in the output. Suppose the same hello world I want to print 1000 times in the output, okay. For that case, it is not possible to write 1000 cout statements in your program, right? Okay. To overcome that problem, we have loop statements. What these loop statements will do, okay, based on the condition, the block of code is going to execute repeatedly, okay. Suppose I have one block of code, okay. I will give one condition, okay. Based on that condition, I'm going to execute that block repeatedly. Based on my requirement, I can execute the same code based on the condition. For example, I want to repeat the same block of code 10 times. For that, I will give one condition by using any one loop statement. This is the block I am going to repeat 10 times. Like that, I am going to give some instruction to the compiler. Based on those instructions, that block of code is going to execute repeatedly, okay. Here we have like 3 loop statement actually. One is while loop, okay. Next one is do while, okay. Third one is for loop. Just like previous C language only, here also we have these 3 types, okay. Syntax for the while loop here is all the like these loop statements are used to like execute some block of code repeatedly. But there is a small difference between this while loop, okay. While loop and for loop both are similar, okay, but do while is some different, okay. See, I will tell you. In while loop and for loop, we will check the condition first, then only we will enter into that block, okay. In while loop and for loop, first we will check the condition, then we will enter into that block, okay. Whereas do while, first we will enter into that block, okay. First we will enter into that block, then we will check the condition, okay. In while loop and while loop and for loop, first we will check the condition, okay. Then here you can say that entry control loop, while loop and for loop, these two are entry control loop. This do while is exit control loop, okay. Entry control means before entering into the loop, you are going to check condition in both while loop and for loop. Whereas in do while, first you will check the first you will enter into this block, then you will check the condition. If you see this syntax, then you will get clear idea, okay. Just coming to this while loop, the syntax is while is a keyword, while you are going to check the condition, okay. Then you are going to enter into this like loop. Okay, this block while is a keyword. Okay, here you are going to check the condition. While condition, you are going to enter into this block of code. Okay, based on this condition, you are going to enter into this block. Okay, like coming to do while. Okay, first you will enter into this block. Okay, first you will enter in do block of code, then here you are going to check the condition. Okay, you can see the difference here. First entry control means first I'm checking the condition. If the condition is true, then only I will enter into this loop. But in do while case, first I am entering into this block, then at the end, after completing that block, I'm going to check the condition. Exit control block. This is the exit control loop. This is the entry control loop. Okay, see, coming to for loop. Okay, this is some the syntax is some different coming to this while loop and do while. Okay, see how you will write the syntax for the for loop is first we'll write the for is a keyword. Okay, here first statement is initialization. Okay, first statement is initialization, semicolon. Okay, then condition. Okay, then condition. This is the after semicolon you need to write condition, again semicolon. You can write here increment or decrement, then you are going to enter into this loop. Okay, this syntax you need to follow. Okay, if you observe the like syntaxes in while loop, first I will check the condition. Okay, if the condition is true, then only I will enter into this loop. Okay, in do while case, first I will enter into this block. At the end, I am going to check the condition. Do block of code while condition. This is the syntax for do while. Okay, for loop, in coming to for loop, the syntax for loop is for initial value, from where you need to start. Then you will check the condition, then increment or decrement. Okay, I will show some sample examples, then you will get some clear idea about this looping statement. Okay, first we will see this while loop. Are you able to follow my class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, see, I'm going to show one simple example related to this while loop. Okay, this is the dev C++. I have taken one sample source file. Go to file, new source file. This is a simple source file I have taken. Okay, here I'm going to include first like header file, that is iostream, right? iostream, then use one namespace, that is namespace is std, right? Standard input output, std. Okay, then we have the main function, that is main function or return type should be int in this dev C++. Okay, here what I'm going to do, I'm just declaring one variable I. Okay, I'm assigning initial value 1. Okay, see, I'm going to print numbers from 1 to 10 in the output. Okay, what is my aim? I'm going to just print in the output, sorry, in the output 1, 2, 3 up to 10 I want to print in the output. Okay, see, to print this like this, previously we used some cout statement. First we printed 1, then second cout statement 2, like that we used, right? But by using while loop, how you can iterate your statements by using that loop. Okay, that I am going to do here. See here. Okay, I'm writing the I'm using while loop here. While here you need to check the condition, right? Okay, how you can check the condition? Suppose I'm going to print from 1 to 10 in the output, right? I'm giving the condition as
I is equal.
I less than or equals to 10 I am giving. Okay, I less
comma
than
I
or
plus
equals
plus.
to less than or equals to 10 I am given. Okay, if this condition is true, okay, if this condition is true, I am going to enter into this block of code. Okay, based on this condition only, if the condition is true only, then only I will enter into this block of code. Okay, here what I am going to do, just I am printing that I value. See out. Okay, just print I value here. Okay, then I'm giving one end L statement also. What is the use of this end L statement? This is
The
the manipulator,
outputs will
right?
be printed in the order.
After printing this I value, the cursor will move to the next line.
It will move to next line.
Okay, see, then after printing that value, you need to increment or decrement your value, I value. Okay, see, I'm just decrementing this value. You can decrement in either whatever. For example, here I'm going to decrement the value by 1. Okay, I plus plus, or else you can use I equals to I plus 1 also. Okay, or else if you want to increment or like plus 2 also, based on your requirement, you can increment or decrement your value. Here just I'm using like post increment value, post increment I plus plus I'm using here. Okay, just saving this file. Okay, giving the, actually, your CSCA, right? We created one folder in C drive, CSCA. Better I will give one folder, one more folder. Many programs are there here, right? Better I will give in CSCA. I will create one new folder. Okay, there I will save this file. Okay, new folder. What is the name will be? Today is 5th, right? 0508 I'm giving. Okay, here I'm going to save my file like while.cpp. Just giving the name, file name as while, extension is .cpp. Okay, this is the way to save your file, right? Okay, I have saved my file in my like my own folder. I'm going to compile this one. What is the use of compilation? Can anyone?
To check whether we have any errors or can we proceed for the next.
Any other?
To convert language into machine language.
Yes. Okay, we written here our code in high level language, right? In English language. This language our compiler won't understand. Okay, for that we are going to compile this code. Okay, the total code is converted into binary language. In the same way, are you writing this code as per the C++ syntax or not? That is also checked by the compiler. If you are not writing as per the syntax of C++, then it will give some errors also. The answer you said both are correct. Okay, compile like converting from like high level to binary language or machine level language. One, if you are writing the code, either you are writing as per the syntax of the C++ or not, that is also checked by the compiler when you compile your code. Okay, if you are not writing as per the syntax, then it will give errors as well. Okay, here only you can see errors. Okay, see, you can see compilation results, errors are 0, there is no warning sound. Then you can go for execution. Okay, see, I'm going to run this file. Okay, now you can see the output. Our expected output, this one only, right? 1 2 3 up to 10. Okay, how this will internally work? Initially I have taken one variable I value, right? I value 1. Okay, what this while loop will do, first initially I value 1. Okay, 1. Just okay, I value 1 less than or equals to 10, condition true, right? If the condition true, it will enter into this loop. Initially I value 1, that 1 is printed in the output here. Okay, then after printing that output, and just incrementing the I value. Okay, see, initially I value is 1. Okay, this condition is true, then I value is printed in the output, means the output 1 is printed. Then I'm just incrementing the I value. After printing, I'm incrementing the value. Means that I value become 2, right? Okay, now I value, this is I. Okay, I value present 2 is there. Okay, see, after incrementing that value, okay, after executing this block of code, this is again go to that condition and it will check the condition. After entering it in this loop, after executing all the statements, okay, this is again will go and check that condition, while condition. Okay, means present I value 2, 2 less than or equals to 10 means condition true. Okay, then it will print the I value. I value present 2, right? The 2 is printed in the output. Okay, then I value become like incremented, means now I value become 3 here. Okay, again it will go and check the condition. Okay, if the condition is true, it will print the I value. I value present 3 is there. 3 will be printed in the output. Like that, it will repeat the loop until this condition is false. Okay, after executing this block of code, it will go and check that condition. Okay, until that condition is false, this block of code is going to repeat here itself. Okay, like this, here it will repeat this code. If the condition, suppose that I value here it is printed 10. Okay, I value here it is printed 10. Okay, again it is incrementing the value, right? Then I value become 11. Okay, I value become 11, right? Again this will go here and will check the condition. 11 less than or equals to 10 means condition false here. If the condition is false, directly it will come back from that while loop. It will execute remaining statements which are present in your program. Okay, clear this one? How we are getting this your output? Any doubts here? Yamini, are you clear?
Sir.
Okay. Shall we move into the do while? Sriya, you tell me.
Yes, sir, we can move on.
Okay. If you observe here, this is entry control, right? While entering into this loop only, first we are checking the condition. Based on this condition only, we are entering into this loop. Okay. This is entry control loop. Okay. Just observe the do while. The same program, I am going to change some modifications. Okay. Just see. Can anyone expect the output now?
Sir, now it will print from 1 to 9.
1 to 9.
Yes.
Okay, let's execute. Here we need to, you can observe, if I run this file, okay, here I have one error. Okay, what is the error you can observe here? Okay, in the below, in the console you can see here, I will maximize this. Okay, see error expected semicolon before the curly brace, closing curly brace. Okay, what does that mean?
While you have not given a while, there is no semicolon.
Yes. Okay. By
Your
by reading
I
that,
greater than or equal to 10.
by reading that error message, you can clearly understand that before closing that curly brace, you need to give one semicolon. Okay, just check. Before this is the curly brace closing, right? Before closing this, you are missed to place semicolon. Here you need to place your semicolon. Okay, I'm just saving this file. Okay, now compile it. Now you won't get any errors here. Okay, then we are able to see same output in the output scale 1 to 10.
So,
See,
but it has printed 10 also, no, sir?
10,
Because it is
10 also it will print.
equal to, as we have
So
used equal to, so it is printing 10 also, no?
10. Okay, I will give the difference between the while loop and do while. Okay, this is the exit control loop. How you can say exit control means, after enter here, before entering into this block, I am checking any condition here, no, right? Directly I am entering into this loop, then I am printing this value, and at end I am checking the condition. Okay, at the end I am checking the condition means, without this condition I'm just entering into this loop and printing that value. Okay, see, suppose that if I give some wrong condition here I will give greater than 10. Okay, if I give greater than 10 here, okay, what is the output we will get now? Can anyone expect? Initially I value 1. Okay, I just entered into this loop, I printed that I value. Okay, I incremented the I value. Okay, after incrementing that I value, okay, just observe this diagram. First, initially I value is 1. This is I, right? I value is 1. Okay, I'm entered into this loop, I printed 1 in the output, then I incremented the value, means I value become 2. Okay, after that I am checking the condition. Okay, here I value 2, right? 2 greater than 10.
0, 1 and 2.
2 greater than 10. Condition true or false? 2 greater than 10. Condition true or false?
False, sir.
Condition false means it won't enter into this loop. Okay, simply it will break the execution. It will come back from the do while statement. Okay, I'm expecting here only 1 in the output. If the condition is false also, I'm entering into that loop, I'm printing 1 in the output. Okay, just observe the output, then you will get some idea. Okay, see, now you can see 1 is printed in the output. Okay, see, at the exit time, after executing this block of code, at end I'm just checking the condition. Okay, without like this condition is like affecting on this code, no, right? See, the situation where you want to execute at least one time of your code. Okay, at least one time, if you want to execute at least one time, okay, in that case you can go for do while. Okay, without checking the condition, we are going to enter into that loop, and at the end we are checking the condition. This is exit control loop. Okay, that is the difference between while loop and do while. Okay, in do while case, like without the condition also, without checking the condition, we are entering into that loop. At least one time that code is going to execute. Whereas in while loop, based on the condition only, we are going to like enter into that loop. Okay, if the condition is false, we won't touch that block of code. Directly, we will skip from that while loop. But in do while, if the condition is false also, you are going to execute your code at least once. Okay, clear this?
No, once can you repeat the previous one?
While condition.
While condition.
Okay, just better I will take some next code in the next file. Okay, I will show the difference. So this I will say like while one I will give while one. Okay. While one dot cp. Here I am going to write while condition. Okay, then you are going to enter into this loop. Here not required. Okay, just observe this program and this program. This is the while loop, right? If the condition is true, then only I will enter into this loop. Otherwise, I won't enter into this loop. Can anyone expect the output here now? If you expect the output, then you will you clear this difference between while loop and do while. See, initial I value is how much?
1.
1.
1.
Just here we have while loop. Here initially I value 1, right? 1 greater than 10. Condition true or false?
False.
Condition false means we won't enter into this loop. Okay? Condition false means we won't enter into this loop. Simply it will come out from this while loop. Okay? If you have any statements outside this like this while loop, those statements will execute. Okay? In this case,
Sir,
you can expect 0 output. You won't get anything in the output.
sir, instead of while here, if we have do while, 1 to 10 will be printed and then it will come out of the loop, no, sir?
Here,
Instead of while condition I greater than 10, if we have do while, suppose we are having here to do while and I greater than 10. So 1 to 10 will be printed and
how it will
it will
print
come
I
out
to
of the
10?
loop, no, sir.
Condition is false, right? Condition false means it won't enter into that loop.
Sir, for while it won't enter, sir. I understood this.
Oh,
In
okay.
case of while, if we are taking here do while, it will check for 1 to 10 and then it will start checking for the condition, no, sir.
No. Just this is the while, right? Just see the do while. Okay, this is the do while. Okay, it will enter into this block. Okay, at the end, after printing this, it is going to check the condition, right? Only one time
Yes,
it
sir.
is going to print, not 10 times. If the condition true, then only it will repeat 10 times. If the condition false, it will print only one time.
Okay.
Okay, just see the output now. So this
Okay,
is the
sir.
do while, right? If I execute this do while, you are able to see 1 in the output. Okay, same code, same condition I used in while. Okay, not this one.
Yeah,
This
0.
one, this one. Okay, if I execute the same, you will see nothing in the output. Okay, because the condition while
Okay,
entering into this condition only, it is going to false. It won't touch this code. Okay, if you have any statements outside this while loop, those statements are going to execute. It won't enter into this block of code. Okay, but in do while, first it will enter into this code and it will execute this code, then it is checking the condition.
That only I was saying, sir.
Irrespective of the condition, it is going
Irrespective
to
of condition.
enter into this loop. Okay, that is the difference you need to remember. Okay, this is about the like do while and while loop. Then coming to for loop, I'm just copying this one. You take one new file. Okay, remove all this. This is the for loop example. Here I'm just giving the name as for.cp. Okay, see, just observe the syntax for loop. See, for is the keyword, parenthesis, initialization. Okay, initial value you need to give here. Okay, then you can check the condition, then increment and decrement. Okay, how internally this will work, let's see. Okay, I'm going to take for loop directly here. For, okay, you need to give initial value. Okay, int some I equals to 1 I am giving. Okay, semicolon, just observe initialization. Okay, I initialized one variable with 1. Okay, integer variable with 1, then semicolon. Okay, semicolon I place, then condition. Okay, here I am going to check the condition like I
See.
less than or equals to 10. The same way I'm going to print 1 to 10 in the output. Okay, I less than or equals to 10, then semicolon. Okay, here also semicolon is there, right? Then you can go for either increment or decrement. Okay, but here I'm going for increment value. Okay, I plus plus. Okay,
Sir,
yes.
in this condition, int is not required, no, sir. If we give directly I, it is okay, no?
Oh, directly you can give I, but before that you need to declare that value. Before here into some
Yeah,
I,
yeah. Int I is equal to something.
just declare
That's
that
it, that's
variable.
it. Yeah.
Then here you can give I equals to 1. Like this also
Okay.
you can go for. In C
I
language,
mean, this
you
is
need,
comfortable, no, sir.
but
I mean,
you
we have
have,
been used to for C.
but in C++ you have one option. Anywhere you can declare your variable, but in C language it is not possible.
Okay.
Okay. After entering into this
Okay, sir.
main function,
Yeah.
you need to declare your variables. All the variables you need to declare there itself. Okay, because in C++ you have that option. You can declare wherever you require, directly you can declare variable there itself.
Okay.
Okay, see,
Okay,
just
sir.
observe this, go observe here. In this way, you just declare one variable, or else here also you can declare. Okay, I equals to 1, I less than or equals to 10, I plus plus. Okay, how this for loop will work? Okay, first it will initialize the value. Just I will maximize some. It's not coming. Okay, anyway, how it will work? First it will initialize the value. Okay, I equals to 1. Okay, just observe. This is the I. In RAM it will create one variable I and it will initialize to 1. This is the 1. Okay, then it will look for the condition. Okay, this is the condition, right? It will look for the condition. If this condition is true, suppose this condition is true, it is going to enter into this block of code. Okay, this open bracket and close bracket is there, right? This is the one block, for block. Okay, first it initialize the value, then it will check the condition. Okay, if the condition is true, then only it will enter into this block of code. Okay, after executing this block of code, it is going to check this increment and decrement value. Some you just just keep some concentration here. Okay, some execution process you need to remember. Okay, first it will initialize the value, then it will check the condition. If the condition is true, then only it will enter into this block of code. Okay, after executing this block of code, it is going to check this increment and decrement value. Third statement, increment and decrement value. Okay, after processing this increment and decrement, it is going to check the condition again. If you have rough notebook, just take this diagram. Just take the for loop syntax and take this diagram. Okay, see, initially I value 1, right? I less than or equals to 1, 10, condition true. Because 1 less than or equals to 10, right? Okay, 1 less than or equals to 10 means condition true. If the condition is true, it is going to enter into this block, and whatever the statements we will write within this block, those statements will execute. Okay, after executing these statements, it is going to look for this increment and decrement value. Okay, here I used like post increment value. It will I value become increment by 1. I plus plus means it will increment by 1, means this 1 will be removed from this bar. It will I value become 2 now. Okay, then after incrementing that value, it is going to check for this condition again. Okay. Again, this 2 less than or equals to 10, condition true. It will enter in. Sorry, Rahman, can you take one screenshot? Rahman is there. Or else anyone please take one screenshot. Just send to me after this class. Okay. See, after like checking this increment and decrement value, again it will check this condition. Okay. If the condition is true, then again it will enter. Suppose better I will write one cout statement here. Cout. just I'm going to print I value here. Okay, one end else statement. Okay, see, first initial I value 1, right? 1 is this, first it will check the condition. The condition true, it will print I value. After executing the statement, it will check this increment or decrement. I value become 2 now. After incrementing this value, again it will check the condition. Okay, see, after executing this one, it will look for the increment and decrement. Okay, then after incrementing the value, it will look for the condition. Okay, if the condition is true, again it will enter into this block of code. Okay, after executing this one, again it will look for this increment and decrement. After incrementing that value, it will look for the condition. Okay, only this initial value only execute one time, then loop will be repeated with this only. Okay, condition, statements, again increment value, again condition, again this statements, like this. Up to this condition is false, this block of code is going to execute. Okay, up to this condition is false, this block of code is going to execute. If the condition is false, simply it will come back from this loop, it will execute remaining statements. Okay, just observe the output. Okay, after this for loop also, I'm going to write one outside, one simple statement, like this is outside for simple message I'm just writing. Okay, after completing this loop only, it will this statement is going to print one time. Okay, yes, I'm going to save this file, execute it. Now you are able to see 1 to 10 in the output. Okay, so finally one outside, we written one cout statement, right? That statement is printed in the output. Okay, clear this one, how it is working. First initially it will initialize the value, then it will check the condition. If this condition is true, it will enter into this block and it will execute this block. Then it will look for the increment and decrement value. After completing this block only, it will look for the increment and decrement value. After incrementing and decrementing, it is again check for the condition. Okay, if the condition true, then it will enter into this block like this, or like it will repeat the code based on this condition. Up to this condition is true, it is going to execute this block of code. If the condition is false, simply it will come back from that loop and it will print the remaining statements present in your program. Okay, this is about like loop statements. Okay, will in the next class what we will see, we will like execute many programs by using these loop statements. Okay, we will see like factorial, Fibonacci
Sir?
series. Yes,
I've sent the attendance in the group, sir.
okay, just that screenshot also.
Yes, sir. Screenshot.
Okay, 36 are present. Okay, those programs will spend 1 or 2 hours for programs. Okay, whatever we have discussed as of now, all the topics. Okay, we can 4 to 5 programs we will see in the next class. Okay,
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
that's all for today. We'll meet in the next class.
Can we leave, sir?
Yeah, you can.